How do you know if your third eye is open is actually a misnomer of a question. And while it is a very practical one in terms of you looking for your spiritual enlightenment and the progression of your transcendent consciousness, it is important to be mindful that the third eye is a chakra or an experience that is opened in the given moment, sometimes wider and sometimes not so wide. You can think of it as like an aperture of a camera, a traditional camera, which wants to be very closed, allowing a limited amount of light in, or very wide open, letting a large amount of light in. There are times when perhaps you don't want your third eye to function at such an accelerated or an advanced level. For example, you may not want to be able to hear or see the thoughts and experiences in another person because it somehow interferes with just the enjoyment or the comfort or the naturalness of a 3D experience when you're sitting with a friend. At other times, you may not want to see ghosts or spirits or other entities, which is allowed through the perceptive capacities of a third eye. And so to shut that off might be tremendously helpful for you in terms of your 3D human experience flowing fluidly and felt to be very safe and not noisy, so to speak. The third eye is the capacity to perceive you and others and the worlds around you in ways that are not necessarily associated to the time-space continuum, but might also be partnering or somehow shadowing in other ways and forms within your 3D existence. So, for example, you might be able to see the auras over individuals' heads. In a sense, you are seeing them with their 3D body and the aura as if it's shining into the 3D time-space continuum. And that capacity is a third eye capacity. If you are sensing it or hearing energy, these are also related to having that capacity to move beyond the 3D 5 perceptions into alternate perceptions. We could talk about the third eye of the ear, for example, but we don't talk about the third ear. But there is a chakra within the ear. We could talk about the knowingness or the sensing, and all of these sorts of things can coalesce together to create the experience of what might be called by you the third eye. Actually, what they are is a coherence or a convergence of all sorts of different sensory tools that you have. There are no less than 360 sensory tools, according to the most transcendent individuals, which is much greater than the 5 that you limit to yourself in your understanding as a human being on a normal level, let's say a physical level. So if you have 360 senses, and a good portion of them, let's say 50 of them, are coalescing or converging or somehow cohering together and allowing you to be able to perceive with all of those senses an image that coheres together, then in a sense you are saying that your third eye is open at a certain level. Clearly, those individuals that can bilocate, they are both experiencing their third eye and being able to see or perceive within 2 different realities or more at the same time with accuracy, so that they are existing in through 3D or more other levels of dimensionality and being able to perceive both simultaneously or one over the other. Do you see how very complicated this is? This is a progressive sense of understanding what you're developing when you're opening your third eye. It is not an open or closed point of view. It is an evolutionary point of view. As you progress, ever able to take your transcendent tools and experience life beyond just the 3D time-space continuum, then as you perceive, you are having your third eye open to different experiences. Now, some people come into this lifetime already with a certain amount of perceptual capacities. And those individuals, when they open more their third eye, they have additional perceptive capacities. Other individuals have perceptual capacities that are more in line with the 5 senses, and they don't recognize that actually they're also using what is called intuition or a sense or empathic capacity that actually is related to percepting or perceiving that which is beyond the 3D time-space continuum into multidimensional awareness. In a sense, you could say that that's a type of 3 or third eye experiencing. You could also say that 3D or third eye experiencing at the same time could involve the awareness of colors, shapes, entities, ghosts, spirits, time continuums, such as the far past or far future, playing in front of you, the capacity to hear telepathically, so to speak, and to transmit information, or to be able to see or hear or experiencing elsewhere and simultaneously be able to transmute and transmit messages or healing experiences perceptively. We could go on, but what you might want to consider is that you're tapping into energies and energy fields and being able to perceive all sorts of different ways those energy fields make some sort of coherent sense of a reality that you can relate to. This is a way of talking about your third eye capacity. Well, we hope this has helped. We know that there's a great deal of information about how to open your third eye. The truth is that all of your third eyes are relatively open if you'll start paying attention. And the more you pay attention to how they're open and using them, they will become, like anything, a muscle that it works much better for you. But also realize that there are times when you just simply need the peace of mind of having popcorn, watching and moving, and laughing with a good friend without perceiving anything beyond those wonderful 5 senses. Have a good day. Bye-bye.